YouTubers can still chat without me going live.
Yeah, be careful about making that where you drilled the hole down it. I'd be careful about making that too big.
I think I've made down here too big. I did the one thing that Dr. Bob's been whinging about, and he's not even here to see it. How rude!
Yeah, what's that?
The quill.
Ah, oh, whoa! Look at that. Whoopee doo. A little tip next time might be to cut the stem off lower towards the base.
Yep.
So you've got a slightly longer stem on it next time.
Doesn't need to be drilled out much more than what it is, really. It might just need to be.
No, I think you've got to
Follow.
flare the top. I think you've got to flare the top out a bit more. What might be worthwhile investing in, Jay, is what's called a step drill.
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever seen them.
No.
Sorry?
No.
Wait on, I'll go and get one.
I might
I'll
have.
go and get one and show you. Right out. Here you go. You can get them in various sizes.
Oh, you mean a bit? Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're fairly cheap, I think, on eBay and that for what you want. I must admit, I have to get the higher quality ones because we're normally drilling steel or aluminium with them. So,
Yep.
called a step drill or something. Sometimes they're originally made for fitting car aerials on, believe it or not,
Okay.
for thin steel.
Yep. Oh, I've seen them before. I just never used them.
Yeah. Don't go down too deep. Start up near the top and take that out a little bit first. It's going to be suck it and see. Yeah, that's starting to look better, I reckon.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
One more cut.
Yeah, one more cut. That's the thing. Sorry, couldn't hear you.
Oh, I was just saying I was going to blow the crap out, but no crap came out of it. So.
I reckon that's about as far as you need to go in, actually. Otherwise, you're going to hide all the nice little spiral bit on the top of the stem there.
Got no spiral.
Oh, when it's down on the lathe, it looks like there's a spiral in it.
Did you want me just my hand under the glass?
Whew, take that off for a while. All right. My mum knitted me a beanie.
Yeah.
Whew. I think I've just lost half a kilo.
Well, that won't do any harm.
No. So I reckon just back here a little bit. It's kind of about there somewhere. It just kind of goes in like that a bit. So I'm just going to knock that out a little bit. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little ridge there.
little trick that you can do
Yeah.
when you're doing things like that
Yeah.
is get your glass stem and color it with a black texture color.
Yep.
And then put it in and just give it a little bit of a twist, and you can see where it's bearing and where it's not then.
Yep.
By the movement in that, it looks like it's bearing down the bottom rather than up near the top.
Yeah. That's why I was digging down deep in here before to try and
Yeah,
open up.
it didn't look like it was wide.
No, not wide enough. But that's the widest drill I've got besides going to a forcing a bit.
Yeah, that's all right.
How you going, Bob?
G'day, Bob.
Good. Was just
Where's
looking
your
for
note?
you.
Where's your note?
Give you a piece of watermelon.
No, note for being late.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
like
know.
watermelon. Sorry, you can keep that.
I was in the midst of a family conference call.
Oh, where's my invite?
Geez, that's annoying, isn't it? When you're enjoying a cup of tea and you think, oh, geez, that was nice. I might have another mouthful of that. And it's empty.
Yeah.
Bloody lackeys not doing their job properly. That's what that is.
Oh, yeah. Bloody shop elves have given up.
Well, I'm going to take the time because I had to eat while I was on the conference. We got our first watermelon of the season. So I've got some watermelon I'm going to eat for a bit. If you don't mind.
No, I'll be eating in about 20 minutes too, so it'll be lunchtime.
It's better.
Outside in
Yeah, it's starting to get better.
Right now,
Alright,
in
I'll-
Morning Park, it's 15 degrees Celsius with showers. Tonight, you can expect more of the same, with a low of 15 degrees.
Yeah, it's 15 Celsius outside and raining. Been raining most of the day.
It's raining right now. with
Oh,
a
we've
low
got the
of 10
temperature, but we've actually got sunlight. Expecting rain tonight, I think.
We got overcast today. There's sunlight there somewhere, but I can't see it.
Yeah.
I know it's stupid, hot coffee and watermelon together, but
Whatever floats your boat, Bob.
yeah, it's been one of those days. I got a real big surprise, and I don't know where it came from. And I spent the day playing with it.
New toy.
Yes, it was delivered to me.
Oh, a Fordham, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, very nice.
with all sorts of goodies to go with it.
Ah. Oh, somebody
I
loves
mean,
you.
Yeah, and I don't know who. It just it tells me what I can use on what, but still, it's
Yeah.
a whole package of stuff. And the first thing is how do I hang it, because the little hanger I had wouldn't work.
What'd you get? I missed that part.
A Fordham, like a Dremel, only the better quality.
Yeah,
Oh, get out of
that's
here. Who invited you? Nice.
well, it's a Chinese made one,
Isn't everything these days?
and it has it's interchangeable. Uh, in fact, when I went online and got a copy of all the manual for it, it shows that it runs on 120 or 240.
Oh, yeah.
You take the little cover off the bottom, and it's the whole bottom cup comes off, and you simply change your jumper, unplug, turn it, and plug it in a different way. But it doesn't solve the plug side. You still got to have the right cord adapter on the other end, but they sell the adapters for those that travel.
That's all right.
Hey, Jay, show Bob what you've done.
Oh, no, he might yell at me.
No, show him what you've done.
Oh, just one. Sorry, I don't mean to put this rudely, but one grandpa yelling at me is enough, all right? It doesn't want to move now.
Look, Bob, look.
Look for Jaws. Dum dum, dum dum, dum dum, dum dum.
Oh my God, you're going to give me a heart attack.
Dum dum.
The bedway is still rusty, but
Oh, bite me! I cleaned that. What are you on about? It's
Yeah,
shiny.
it's shiny.
It
Or
actually,
just badly milled.
no,
Yes.
it just needs a little bit of lubrication on it too.
It's got a buttload of lines in it from where the whatever cut
Yeah.
the metal out.
Where
Yeah,
they
it hasn't been
milled it.
milled.
Yeah, it's a terrible job.
I've heard pros and cons about that, even with back when I got my Reeds one, and that's a long time ago, probably 20 years, 50. It's got to be over 20, and so that was the best there was out that I could afford. It was the top of the line jet, and they had it both ways. You could get the bed two different ways, smooth, or you could get it, they called it milled, which gave you better traction, supposedly when you clamp down on the tool rest. And
Yeah, I actually prefer them smooth, and
I do too.
I've got what's called a boat stone that I run over mine every now and again.
Yep, I use a stone on mine. I've got them for all three lays.
I got heaps of stones outside.
And when I loan the lathes out, or when I have someone using them in my shop, it's part of the kit that's in a drawer underneath, along with the tools and all the accessories and everything to go with that particular lathe. I like that. You're gonna sell them now, I hope.
Oh, I hope so. I haven't been able to sell anything yet, but you never know your luck.
No, don't you have a community store?
I've got a website. I've got them up on the marketplace, and all as I get on the marketplace is people trying to talk me down from the price that I put on it.
Well, don't you double your cost and come down by half for a sale if you have to?
No, two people have tried to talk me down on the price of my red gum burl with the pyro on it.
Yeah.
See you later. No.
And you ask £100?
100, yeah. And they think that's too much, apparently.
Well, not to be insultive, but you're getting the skills, but you haven't got the name.
Yeah.
That's the
right.
gotcha. That I'd hate to insult people and tell them that, but at times that's a problem. Sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet, but when you do, make sure it's to somebody who really likes to work, so they're going to tell other people.
Yeah.
that's
I'm-
Called lost leaders at that
I
point.
lowballed myself with that pyro piece as it is. I'm not going any lower. They can go make it themselves.
Oh, I understand where you're coming from. I had that problem for years. I think every turner does, or anybody in any craft.
That's why I don't do craft work.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Tell Dr. Bob what you've been doing. Tell him all the traveling expenses you've had, and you haven't even left your house.
Yeah. No.
Well, you're locked down, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, locked down for another week. And it could get even worse yet. They're trying to track.
They don't
No,
want to wear masks? Or
No. We had a massive outbreak about 10 or 12 days ago. And they've got to track over 4,000 people.
Oh.
I don't envy them, I must admit.
You two have had vaccine, haven't you?
I've had the vaccine, yeah. Yeah, my wife and I have had the vaccine. We've got to wait another, about 10 weeks before we have the second injection yet.
Wow. Ours was a month apart.
Yeah, ours is 3 months. I don't know which vaccine we had, whether we had the Pfizer or the other one.
Well, Moderna was a month, I think. That's what we had through the VA.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a month. It was like 28 days or something. So
Oh, yeah.
when you got your first, you had your appointment set for the next one.
Yeah, my Julie's got all those details.
Yeah. You haven't had any vaccine yet? Or you've elected not to or can't get it?
Jay's elected not to.
Well, we're seeing here in Michigan, at least in our wood turning, clubs that want to get together again for meetings. Most of the little clubs, 25 members or less. There's a lot of them around.
Yeah.
But they always come together to the monthly ones. A lot of them do. Like here in Detroit, our club, we bring the Essex because that's in Windsor. It's Canada. Their county is Essex. So they have an Essex Wood Club, and it is intentionally a different Saturday or Sunday from what we have, because our people go back and forth across the bridge to attend the other meetings, because we support them. And then
Yep.
here again, we have people that go as far away as Toronto, which is a 5-hour drive, but they'll go up, spend the night, have a good steak dinner, enjoy the city, and catch a decent Broadway type show, and then come back again the next day. So it's an outing.
Yep.
And that's done often when they have a guest, because that way we can go see the guest Turner, catch a good musical or drama at one of their theater groups, because they've got some really good ones in the city, and send the kids off to the Science Center, which is a hands-on science center. That's fantastic. It's a playground for anyone who's really interested. But and then get back on the train and come home. So it's like a quick weekend trip, vacation.
Now that's something that's we get American shows out here like Border Control and things like that, and the one that features is the one from Detroit across to Canada, a fair bit on the freeway there.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the train. Now, I've never seen them do the train, but I would assume that there'd be customs controls on the trains as well, would there? Customs officers and things?
Yes, there is, but the passenger train terminates in Windsor, and then they have a bus that comes across, and that way we don't have to pay the expense of a car and car parking in Canada, because if you take the train, you end up being
Yeah, but
able to park free.
do they unload the bus and at the border and check it all?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they don't unload it. They just take your word for what, check your ID. And we have our driver's license. We have something new on our licenses. Like, that's my old one. The new part that we have is this crazy
Wait on.
code.
Jay will put it up on the... oh, yeah.
We've had these for a while, but the little scribble thing up here in the corner is, in essence, our passport.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right.
It has all the information, and it follows a international standard for a mini passport. Like, I can get on cruise ships, and anywhere that cruise ship goes, if it's, out of the Florida or New York, whatever, as long as it's not going to Europe, within Africa, and that I can get on and off. That's an actual passport with the picture.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a mini, and it's designed just for that. And the same thing when you take the bus across to Canada, you simply present it. It instantly looks it up, and if it's like a smart card.
Yeah.
In essence, you run it through the reader, and it says, "You're okay. Come in."
I don't understand why you have to have your passport on your driver's license. I don't know. It could just
well,
be
it's a lot easier.
That means a lot, but I think it's a bit. They're up to something, to be honest.
No, I don't have to carry my passport and have it stamped. See, the one thing with a passport is that anywhere you go, the country you go to stamps the passport.
That's right.
And with this, there is no stamping, because there's an agreement between the countries that follow it that this is enough, and it goes in their security system, scans, and sees if you're wanted criminal in any of the countries that's here, outstanding Watson warrants in any of the countries, that this supports driving restrictions, because it might not be able to read the front. If I'm in, Mexico, they speak English and read it. But if they can't read everything in there in the fine print, it'll show up on their computer that I've got a problem with drunk driving, because my driving records are online, whatever the standards were set apart for when they looked this up. And actually, my picture is in this little digital code. It brings it up on the other end so they
Yep.
can see it. So it's much easier, but you don't have to stamp it, and keep that log that countries have.
Makes a lot of sense to me. But see what you started by inventing the bloody code readers.
Yeah,
You're to blame,
Yeah, I know.
So do we blame the Sky people for the other stuff, or what?
I know. That's
running down.
when I sit and look at where it's come to, when we first stuck a piece of magnetic recording tape
I might have just put myself on mute. No, I was fucking listening anyway.
on a card, and made it work. Everyone kept saying, no, it won't. And here it was. Why didn't I think of that? And to me and the students I had, it was just common sense.
That actually has come up quite nice, Jay.
Oh yeah, I'd buy that.
With the piss coming through the middle of it.
I'd say something, but no one was listening, so I won't.
I was trying to listen to you.
I'm sorry.
Now, take yourself off mute and say it now, and I'll yell at Bob if he starts yakking. All right. I'm going to have to go shortly. G'day, Chris. How are you? Chris says it looks great too.
So what's he going to sell it for? Did he say?
No. All right, it's lunchtime on the at the ranch, so I shall catch you later, Jay.
See you later.
See you later, Chris. See you, Bob.
Yep. Catch you later.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that Jay drinks. He's like me. I know he likes a beer. I don't know about wine. Chris said to trade it for some wine, Jay.
No, not that shit.
Yeah, all right, I'm off.
All right, see you later. Thanks for coming in. Oh, fine.
That does look nice.
Yeah, something a little different. That's why I wanted to do this wood, just because of that nice dark pith that it gets.
I agree with you. I try to, in everything I do, bring out something that's unique on the wood if I can. What are you going to put on the bottom? Anything? Felt or just
Yeah.
sand it?
Now I've got some green felt to put on the bottom. I'd
So
rather
what
black.
do you mark them at for sale? $20, $30?
No idea at the moment, to be honest. I honestly couldn't tell you at the moment until I've made a set. I still got to go back to the shop that I bought those champagne glasses from and buy the others. There was 6 there and only brought 2 of them. So
So what do you think, Chris, that should sell for?
I should go and ask the wine drinkers in my family.
Well, do they buy expensive wine or cheap stuff?
Oh, one buys expensive stuff.
That's the person you need to ask. The people that years ago, I was one of the crowd. We'd buy wine by the box,
Oh,
half
yeah.
gallon to gallons.
I just got to mute myself for a second. I've got to use my belt sander, but I can still hear you. Little bit of liquid beeswax on the bottom.
Yeah, I like your finish. That's another product you could sell. There's a lot of different craftspeople that work with wood would like it.
Yeah. It's one thing I've been getting into at the moment has been tongue oil.
Yeah.
I really like the shine that comes off of that. That's what's over the top of the beeswax.
On top of or under?
On top.
Oh, usually tung oil goes into the wood, and the wax preserves it.
Yep. No, I've just been putting it over the top for a shine.
Uh-huh. Well, the problem is tung oil can darken wood too.
Yeah.
So by protecting the wood, it won't darken it. But I've cheated or not cheated, but like you have the pith running down there. I have used a different finish just on the pith,
Oh yeah.
a little darker, and I use a swab. We call them, Q-tips. It's a stick with cotton stuck to it.
Earbud.
That
we
way
call
you can put the finish exactly where you want it,
Yes.
and you can use it to accent or highlight some of the pith and different parts of the pith. Instead of just rubbing it on, I've often spent a couple of days just playing with putting it in different places to make some darker, some lighter, a streak stand out more.
Yep.
And I've done that with the urns while I was waiting for them to dry or before I could get them shipped. Because I usually, when I was doing them back in the, I won't say a heyday, that sounds bad when it comes to the death, but I shipped 5 or 6 a week.
Yep.
And as I say, they were down and dirty, not necessarily ultra fancy. It was just better than a cardboard box or a wooden box to give ashes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
some people might have used them. A lot of them might have just given them over to a mortician or whatever to pour into a $600 to $2,000 urn. It was just better than the wooden cheap box.
Yes.
That,
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I played with a lot of them and with how to darken it and how to make different things stand out. Try to make it look more than just a piece of wood that you bought at the wood store.
Yep.
And definitely not something made in Japan or China or Hong Kong. But CNC hadn't been invented at the time at all. Hadn't even been dreamed of except probably in a few engineers.
Yep.
Now you got a coaster left.
Oh, that was easy to pull off. Yeah. I generally give them to my brother-in-law who's got a combustion heater. It's got a little tub that we keep them all in, and comes and collects it once every couple of months.
Well, there's enough room there to make a coaster out of it and flip it around to do a bottom and a top. All you're doing is sanding it level and putting a couple circles in it and charging an extra $5 for it.
Yes. I've got another piece of southeastern golden wattle here.
Oh, yeah, that'll be pretty again, the way that pith is slightly off center.
So hard, this wood. It's ridiculous.
That's what you want for a stem. Anything.
Yeah. Well, the next piece I want to try is an offcut of red gum.
Mm. That is so pretty.
Oh, you might have seen the bit that I painted. Painted it with
Yeah.
a bit of two shade nail polish to see what it would look like.
Did you figure out what happened to your PayPal?
Oh, didn't you find it?
No.
I'm pretty sure it was on my on the Live AU page. I'll go and have a look though on Live AU. Let's look.
Because you're live now, and
Yeah.
I don't know where to find it.
Right. I had it set up so that the description would be the same all the time. No.
Because under description, it just says 1, 2, 3 or ABC.
Yep. No, I've got it.
Just get it taken care of.
It's in the private chat, Dr. Bob.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look here. Oh, yeah, I see it.
No, it doesn't have a description down the bottom of the videos anymore. I don't know why. I hate it when you set stuff up on stuff and on these social media stuff, and then they go and do an update and delete it all. Like,
Yeah, I know that happens.
Got like air in a can.
No, I got a compressor. How much? What do you need it for?
I'm getting the dust out of my console.
You should go walk outside. If you want to use the air compressor in the shop,
Yeah, that works.
Alexa, turn on air compressor. Give it a couple minutes for it to build up pressure.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Sorry about that.
Don't worry about it.
yeah, in the default uploads in the basic settings, I've got all that information in the description, and it's not working. Quite weird.
Alexa, turn on shop air compressor.
Shop air compressor doesn't support that.
Maybe you have to say it a different way, Dr. Bob.
Alexa, turn on air compressor. I got it. Oh.
Good old digital devices, eh?
Well, the problem is that here again, it's software updates hit me because I can turn everything off in my shop at one time because you can take devices and put them in rooms
Yes.
or together, like everything for the lathe, everything for the carpenter side.
Yep.
But the compressor is one that kind of got hung out there because it serves both of them. So, but you can do that because I was playing with that today. I just have to know exact wording for it because it'll,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
I can say, kill garage and everything goes out except the emergency lighting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, that should help you.
Thank you.
I don't know how long it'll take to happen. But
It takes about 3 or 4 working days to transfer.
that's odd.
It takes. It goes through to the PayPal account straight away, but to go to my bank account, it takes 3 to 5 working days.
Okay. Well, we got the oldest boy here graduates tomorrow night from high school.
Never did hard work. Did you say?
Yeah, he graduates tomorrow from high school.
Oh yeah.
Turns 18 and graduates. It's coincidental. So what else you been up to today?
No, nothing really.
I got to paint the ends on some fresh wood a bit later today after I've had my lunch. On some, we got about 3/4 of a ton of wet pine last weekend or the weekend before or something. I've painted one side of them. Just got to paint the other side now.
Oh. What's it cut in length at?
Oh, it was just cut from when the guy cut the tree down originally.
Yeah, but are they 6 foot, 8 foot?
Oh no, they're about 1.5 foot round, maybe 2 feet round by. Some are 1 foot long, some are about 3 foot long.
A good selection.
Yeah, so I'm kind of trying to bide my time and not use them until I get the other lathe, because I won't have to cut any of the pieces. I'll just go straight onto that lathe.
Yeah. Next thing we're going to have to find you is a bandsaw.
Yeah, I reckon I would have to maybe try and, like, at the on chance, find one at the auctions here or something. I think.
Yeah, that's
I
the
missed-
best way.
I missed out on one by $50. A couple about 6 or 8 months ago. It was a full machinist bandsaw, and they only wanted $200 for it.
But that's a different kind of bandsaw. And, well, let me take that back. Principally, yeah, they're the same. You can use either. It's just the blade is the big
Yep.
difference. But a machinist saw, it's far more accurate because they expect to measure, down to
Yeah.
the millimeter.
Yep.
And woodworkers, there's several grades of saws. You've got the hobbyist, which is the small, cheap ones that
Like
you
what
can
we've got.
tell the wheels are pot metal.
Yep.
You don't want them at all, because if you tighten them to where they should be tight enough for the blade and forget to take the tension off, you can warp the wheels.
Okay.
And usually they're China made, so you can't very easily buy parts.
Yeah,
The
this
next up is a
the one
decent
that
woodworker saw, and that's what you want.
this one was made by Ryobi, and I could most probably get parts from them, but there's one of Robbo's friends that lives in South Australia that used to own a woodworking shop. I'd most be better luck asking him, I think.
Yeah. But they're so easy. I mean, they're simple. You can buy a used one, and there's things that I look for is basically, is it too badly rusted?
Yep.
That you can't take the rust off and put together. Because the first thing you do when you buy it is to buy new tires for it.
Yep.
New blade guides. And worst case scenario, the new bearings. I mean, they're easy to be able to change wheel bearings. They say, oh, you get a wheel bearing press. No, you don't. You simply turn on your lathe a piece of wood that's the same diameter as the bearing that is in the wheel.
Yep.
And then you put the bandsaw wheel on your lathe, so the bearing will fall out between the bedways.
Oh yeah.
That gives you the perfect slot.
Yep.
Then you take that piece of wood and you put on the bearing, and you put the new bearing on top of it, and in essence you're pressing it through,
Yes.
and and you're seating a brand new bearing, because that's what you're using to push the old one out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
You
get
don't
it.
have to buy a bearing press. You don't have to do any of that stuff that you would normally. I know I have done it to I had 3 bandsaws. I gave my brother one, which was
Yep.
a bench top one. But now I'm sitting with 2, and I'm totally content with 2. I've got one where I have a riser block so I can cut tall stuff, and it's got a big 220 motor, 2 horsepower, so if you slip, it'll take the arm off, and nice clean cut. But you can cut big logs.
Yep.
You just have to remember, and it's a cheap thing to buy, is a bandsaw tensioner.
Oh yeah.
It's they usually give you a little knob that tightens at the top of the bandsaw, and it moves the wheels apart.
Yep.
So as you actually apply more tension on the blades, because thinner blades don't need as much as thicker ones do, in
Yep.
theory. And that's debated to be just the opposite depending on the kind of work you're doing. Because you can do almost like scroll saw, real fine work on a bandsaw with a 1/8 inch blade.
Yeah.
Then you buy new tires and you put the
Yeah.
tires on, you change the blade guide, which they're cheap.
Yep.
They're just like carbon blocks, but they're not. The new ones are better. And you've got a brand new saw. Even if it's 40 years old.
Yep.
Unless someone has taken it somewhere and dumped it off a truck or let it rust so as nothing turns. Maybe I'm a cheapskate, but I just don't see with a lot of the woodworking tools the way they're designed. Unless they're all CNC, then you can make them like new again.
Yep. Yes, it'd be nice to be able to have a CNC and a big chunky band.
That's because you're part of the computer geek age.
Yeah.
The only thing I use my computer for, when I had it, the money to keep it up and running, I lost, had a motherboard go on me, and
Yeah.
and it took out a bunch of memory and stuff, and it shorted the power supply and almost started a fire.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's
That's a bad one.
yeah, it is. But there wasn't. The problem was, and I'll take the blame. I didn't have enough fans in it, and the fans that I had thought of, if some fans blow in, some fans suck out.
Yep.
The ones that were sucking out were aimed towards a wall,
Yeah.
and that caused too much, in essence, resistance. It's
Yep.
not friction, but it's pressure. You can't blow against the wall too quickly. You know, there's limitations to. And I learned that the hard way because it overheated.
Oh, bugger. Yep.
You can suck in from the wall really easy. You know, it was probably 8-10 inches from the wall.
Yep.
You know, it wasn't up against it flush, but the higher power CPU just and the graphic processor just overheated. There's no overheat protection.
Yeah. Yep. So when they go good, don't they?
Oh yeah. I had almost $2,000. Even had water cooling in it, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
was $400.
Yep.
That
my
was doing video editing, special effects, motion picture type editing.
Yep. My cousin's got a bloody his computer's nearly worth as much as my car. He's
What
got
does he do?
He just plays games on it, but he does he's got like $4,000 worth of water, some gel water cooling or something. It's not even water anymore. And the tower stands. His tower itself's about 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
It's huge.
You got to have the bigger space to have the air moving. And the problem is with a tower computer is you're sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Problem one.
Yeah.
You got to get them off the floor. But people think that's where they ought to be. Simply because you got to be able to have a lot of air move out and suck air in. And you don't want to be sucking the hot air in that you've just exhausted.
Yes.
So people don't think about air movement seriously enough. You know, it's always been let's suck it in from the front and blow it out the back. Okay, so you're heating a wall up. That's not going to help any. Hot air will heat that wall. And then people say, no, let's blow hot air out the front. No, because then it's going to be indirectly on you and people around you, and you won't like that.
This is I put it in the private chat. This is the racing simulator cockpit that my cousin's got. and I'd probably go to the most expensive one on the page too, and that'll be the one he's got. They're pretty full on.
Oh, okay.
Not something I would ever afford, or would even want to spend that amount of money on.
No.
Crazy, isn't it?
Wow. That is something else. Just $1,000 for foot pedals.
Yeah.
For 3 foot pedals.
Yep. That's the same cousin that I used to get my like $1,000 graphics cards for nothing because he was updating, you know.
Yep. This is a hardcore. You wonder, is he married?
Yeah.
Got any kids?
No, can't have kids.
Oh, with being able to come up with a budget to carry this, you wouldn't have time. Wouldn't have the money.
Yeah, I know.
I was looking at the race car package, $1,000.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, and the combat flight simulator package, $1,000.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the chair he's got, that's exactly what I bought, you know, Brendan here, except they've taken the base off of it.
Yep.
And added some belts for looks. And the rest is simply mechanical contactors.
Yeah, it's pretty full on that one.
Australia's #1 simulator since '09. Wow.
So it's got here on PayPal, it's got, you can have it in your account in minutes and they take a 1% fee, or you can wait 3 to 5 working days and you can have it in your bank for free.
Yeah, because they've already made interest on it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, it's up to you. I just thought I'd try to help what I could.
Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate it. I'll pay for StreamYard again. Oh.
Oh, the next level racing G-Track simulator, racing cockpit plus motion simulator, $14,999.
Man.
That's the price of of an expensive car.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad, eh?
Well, I can see the motion simulator at $5,000 or $4,000.
Yeah.
200.
Yep.
But yeah, you got to be hardcore for that.
Yes. That's what he plays on that game called iRacing. Go check that out. The funny part about that game is that if you sign up to play iRacing with your wife's credit card, well, then you got your wife's name in the game.
Oh, and they're giving you free shipping, Australia. Why? For that price, they probably ought to deliver it with a bottle of champagne and a bunch of girls.
Yes.
Take your pick. What your choice? 1 week. She'll clean your shop.
Yeah, no, it's bad price, that's for sure. Not really
Wow.
something.
What does he do for a living to afford this kind of hobby?
Nothing. He's on a pension, actually.
Oh,
Oh, ouchie. Sorry about that.
well, once in a while, use your wax and wax your drill.
Yep, didn't think about that.
I keep a little thing of beeswax handy, and every once in a while, and it's a solid pour. The person made it for me. They raised bees, so they poured some in a plastic drinking cup.
Oh, yeah.
And then when it cooled down to room temperature and solidified, they just gave it to me, and I use that, and I'll drill a hole in with
Yep.
the drill bit, and that's just enough to wax the drill bit. And after a couple of dozen holes being drilled in it, I'll hit it with a heat gun for a couple of minutes, and it's good to go again.
No, I have got
That way-
wax around. I just didn't think about it. That's all.
No, I keep on top of my headstock. I have a little wooden tray, and I have a little piece that's about the size of a stick of gum or a pack
Yep.
of gum. You know,
Yep.
the thickness and width, and that's what
Yeah.
I keep up there because I can use it on a drill bit.
So I got one.
Yeah, and I just keep it up there just for the purpose of doing my drills.
Yep.
Well, you can use it for other things, but it's that easy. And it's not behind me covered in shavings being lost.
Yes.
The gremlins do it.
Yeah, they're bad. They are. They can't seem to find a place to hide in my shop though. So
Oh, but they're there because they're the ones that keep hiding stuff from with all the shavings. You always can blame something else.
come on, you sure Alexa can't find it for you?
Oh, I have tried that, and there's some real good smart aleck remarks if you turn that feature on, if you just want to have fun. But now they have something like drop in, and it's like a chat where if I know the other person IP address of which they can ask their Alexa what their address is, and then you can simply connect to exchange addresses, and they're fixed, you know, because that's the address it comes into your house at. And
Sneaky.
you can actually add a device or the capability of drop-in.
Okay.
So I do that with my sister at times. It's the same as being able to hit the Facebook Messenger. That's much easier, you know, so you can see and talk to people. But, they've got it with with that and with her, so you can actually join and talk to people
Oh, yeah.
around the world if you want. But you got to give the permission at both ends to do it.
Yep.
And then you assign a name to it or a code word to it, so as it becomes private for you, so it doesn't get hacked.
Oh, yeah.
But the code word doesn't get you in. It just, in essence, like a password that locks it. So if I wanted to drop in on you,
Yep.
the code word or phrase, could be Humpty Dumpty broke his ass.
Yep.
But after that, I'd just call you by name and say drop in on Jay, and it would do it.
Okay.
And then you'd have a friendly little voice come up with the accent of your choice and say that Dr. Bob would like to chat with you. And you can tell her where to tell me to go, and she'll politely tell me that that's a very hot subject or something like that. If you turn sarcasm on, which I have on 2 of mine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to jump and run because I got a kid that's still up and he's got study and got finals starting next week. So he should be in bed instead of playing around.
All right. Thank you very much for coming in, and thank you very much for the donation too. We do appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. If I can, I will. But I got to go yell at him politely. What I'll do is, I don't think he's doing homework. And I've already turned the computer off about 2 minutes ago, the network to his computer, and then he switched to his phone.
Yep.
It's not that I'm spying on him, but he switched to his phone, and
It's definitely
and
not.
it's not like he's chatting because I see the data rate that's going through in real time. He's playing games on his phone. I love the parental controls they put in, but they're also for business. A business can use the same software for employees and say what they can do and can't do if they're paying.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
keep track of employees because, you want to get work out of them. And reasonably let them do something on their own, like lunch times.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah. I bet they're rather upset that their father is so well in tune with this technology.
yeah. Well, they're both learning.
Yep.
And I'm more of a grandfather, or worse, a great-great-grandfather for one of them. I mean, he's just 14 and I'm 76. I have seen the world. A few generations go by,
Yes.
but it makes it fun when our generation knows how all this stuff works. It's true. Your generation and one past is the one that just invented a lot of it. I just started with basic concepts.
Yep.
But you don't know how to use it. He's more interested in gaming, but you got to have some hobby.
Yeah.
Running around getting drunk and harassing people just is not the right thing to do.
No.
Take care. I'll catch you tomorrow night.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Have a good day tomorrow.
Yep. Bye.
See ya. So I know my lunch is going to be ready soon because I can hear Amber inside singing. So. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you wouldn't be that far off, didn't I? Right, I'm gonna knock it on the head. Thank you very much for coming in. Do appreciate it. Piff's a little bit more off on this one, so finish it off. I might finish it off today. Might not.